Please turn your volume up. We were talking too softly in the museum. Hi, everybody. Welcome to RV Afterlife, and we are Roger and Delana. We are traveling through Wyoming. We were going to be in Wyoming for about 4 days. And one of the things I love about what we are doing is that sometimes things that aren't destinations are definitely worth your time. So we are in Pinedale, Wyoming, and I'm going to show you later in this little video where we're staying. It's a pretty cool harvest host, but I'm going to just have Roger tell you.
Boondockers welcome.
Boondockers welcome. Where we're at and a little bit about what we've learned.
About the area?
Yeah.
Well, like she said, we're in Pinedale, Wyoming. It's on our way into Idaho, but we stopped here to kind of slow down a little bit and rest and take in the local scenery. And it's a really pretty area, very rustic, at the foothills of the mountains. I'm not even sure what mountains they are, to be honest with you. We plan on taking a drive up there this afternoon, but right at the moment we're at the Sublette County Museum of the Mountain Men, and we just finished I don't know, we're probably in there about an hour, I would think. But it details the whole history of all the mountain men and what it was really like, and the experiences they had and the equipment they used. It was well worth the time. Really, really interesting.
Very well done.
They have one of their I don't know if you'd call it most important pieces, but it's won awards for the most historic display or item in Wyoming. It was the rifle that was owned and carried by Jim Bridger, who, contrary to what experiences a lot of other mountain men have had, he lived to a ripe old age of almost in his 70s, 77.
Yeah.
Most of the mountain men that we've probably never heard of had a very short life. Yeah. There was a lot of well-known, even legendary mountain men, but probably more that we'll have never heard of or known about didn't survive their business venture.
Yeah. Oh, we were going to say something about the original rendezvous.
Oh yeah, this site, I think you've already said, hosts an annual rendezvous in July every year, and they have the distinction that and as a matter of fact, there were only 16 rendezvous held total during the Mountain Men era. 10 of those were held here in Sublette County, so they kind of have a claim to the title.
And Pinedale was the location of the first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It lasted all of 1 day because they didn't have any alcohol.
Yeah. The following year they brought alcohol, and it lasted for, what did you say, a week?
Yeah, well, and subsequent rendezvous lasted for months at a time. It's something they did off trapping season.
Yeah. So very fun, very interesting. It was only, if you're a senior, it's $8. If you're not of the ripe old age of 60 or over, then it's $10 a person.
We saved $4.
Yeah, well, that's what happens.
That's a win.
Okay, well, we're going to show you inside the museum some of the footage, and then whatever else we find to do in Wyoming. Like I said, we're just passing through, but we saw this and thought it sounded interesting, and it absolutely was. So there's a very good video that you can watch at the beginning of your tour that talks about the beginning of the trade. The mountain man himself was, it's a big long history, but basically beaver became very popular for hats and coats in Europe, and that is really what ignited the beaver trade and the mountain man here in the United States. There's the big guy who brought these men to the Wild West in pursuit of their pelts. Looks like some of the apparel of the backcountry. And these are the traps they use for beaver. Oh, one of the few things in a museum it says you can please touch.
A band of white men came to the Rocky Mountains in the 1820s, not to settle the land,
Quite a
but
few.
to harvest its riches. They were capitalists, adventurers, or simply hired help.
And look at this.
Of their arrival,
that's a bear trap.
the focus of their enterprise. The heart of the Rocky Mountain fur trade era. They came in search of wealth and adventure. Adventure found scarcity. Wealth.
I know this video isn't going to do these any justice, but in fact, I'm not going to walk by every one of them, but I just want to show you how massive this collection is. And it looks like the entire collection was donated by one couple. One thing we learned from the video is that we all have that mindset that the mountain men were criminals or rough men running from the law, but there were quite a few learned men who actually during the long winters would teach other men how to read and read books in the Bible to them. Bigger than life trapper. Wishaki was a Shoshone chief noted for doing more than any other chief to facilitate the peaceful settlement of the West. In addition to those beautiful commemorative guns, they have a pretty good collection of original, what would you call that, authentic muskets. All of them dated in the 1800s.
This one is 1767 to 1830. I don't know about the other side.
The little short one.
It's from 1849. I'm not sure how to pronounce the word, but it's pretty big caliber. But it's got a very thin-walled barrel. I don't know what that means. Harper's Ferry model 1803. It looks more like a shotgun barrel. 54 caliber.
Long.
Yeah. Longer the barrel, the more accurate the rifle. That's Jim Bridger's white rifle from 1853, 40 caliber. That's pretty impressive.
As mountain men go, looks like Jim Bridger lived a good long life. A lot of them died in their early 30s. But going back to his gun, his rifle, it's 11 pounds and 49.5 inches long with half-stock percussion, plains rifle, walnut stock. Go.
That's a 50 caliber flintlock on the top. The bottom one is the middle one is a double barrel shotgun, 20 gauge. And the bottom one is an American flintlock, full stock, 36 caliber.
How long do you think those are?
I don't know. They're pretty long. Even the shotgun.
I always like to see the, what do they call those possible bags? The old ones.
Yeah. Bullet patch and powder horn.
Got a cute little section down here for kids called Fort Nonsense. And all of these things, they can stick their hand in there and touch. Well, that's pretty good size. Got a basket full of things that they can try on and touch. Very cool. The name of the county here is Sublette, and that's what they mean by they have a county museum in the basement. A lot of cool artifacts and things that were found here in the 1930s that were used by Native Americans. There are some outdoor grounds here at the museum. I'm watching. Of
Lean-to.
Lean-to.
Backside of a lean-to.
Of course, teepees. The second week of July, they apparently have a big rendezvous here with reenactors and all kinds of demonstrations. So if you're in Pinedale, Wyoming in July, it certainly looks like it would be something worth attending. Okay, filming. Okay, it looks like this is probably some very rustic, basic seats. That looks like it's probably a fur press. That they would demonstrate how they wrapped the furs to keep them dry till they could get to the rendezvous. The sagebrush and stuff is pretty cool. I wonder what they would do down in that area.
Yeah. They dumped a lot of hay.
Huh.
Maybe straw, I don't know.
I don't know, I wonder if they keep animals here during the rendezvous. I bet they probably do. And the end of the road. This is the end of today's tour. Again, hope you enjoyed our time together. For demonstrations.